Okay, Choa. So today I'm going to talk about the saying, don't bite the hand that feeds you. I hate it. I hate that saying. Cannot stand it. And I will explain why in this video. So the idea behind that saying is that you shouldn't be ungrateful towards people who help you. And the underlying message here is that we somehow owe them. Right? You owe that helper. You either owe them respect, admiration, submission, I don't know, favors in return, money, silence, loyalty, gratitude, etc. And although I agree that gratitude is a good virtue, I think the use of that, I think that, sorry. Although I believe that gratitude is a good virtue, I have some problems with that phrase. Actually, I think I have three main problems, okay? The first one is the meaning of gratitude here. Gratitude, here comes a question, what is gratitude, right? Gratitude can be many things, and it can be translated into different type of actions and behaviors, attitudes. It is often mostly internal than it is external. So oftentimes your gratitude is not necessarily exteriorized to that person, to the person that helped you. Like, I mean, I'm not talking about saying thank you. I'm talking about the virtue, like what you feel inside and what you do with that feeling of appreciation, etc. So the question comes to mind, what is gratitude? Is it a way of life? Is it an attitude towards our helper? Is it loyalty towards our helper? Is it what we do of that help, the use we give to that, what we do of it? Is it I have it written down, that's why I'm looking down from time to time. So is it a change in perception towards the world? Is it the acknowledgement of our smallness? For example, that we're tiny beings in the universe. Like, gratitude can take many forms. So my problem with that phrase is that it reduces gratitude to the to the attachment or loyalty towards our helper. And I don't agree with that. And from that comes, my second point actually comes from that first idea of reduced meaning of gratitude. This saying suggests that we ought to be grateful indefinitely and regardless of what that hand does. So it implies that we have to be loyal independently of, regardless of what this hand does, right? Because when you are told that phrase, it's usually when you want to react, when you want to say something either against that hand or you want to speak up and stuff like that. So they tell you, hey, this is the hand that feeds you, so careful. But if I'm having this reaction, which is considered negative, it's not just out of nowhere. It comes from something. Like they say in French, il n'y a pas de fumée sans feu. That means there is a situation that is causing this negative reaction from my part, from me. So, the situation that caused that reaction is what we should tackle, is what we should maybe see. That may be the problem. So, this is also sometimes my problem with loyalty, because I think the way the word loyalty is used is often to hide misbehaviors, to hide misdeeds and stuff that are not necessarily good, just because that person was good to us at a certain period of time, or just because that person is loved by the community, etc. Like, this is another subject. Let me try to return to that. So I don't agree with that. If you receive help from someone and that person later on does something that hurts you, does something that compromises your values, does something that is hurtful to someone else, you can speak up, and you should speak up. So for me, it just doesn't make sense. So, because if I'm reacting negatively to that helper, it's because there are a reason for that. You're not gonna react badly to someone that helps you just because they help. I mean, for no reason. Oh, okay. So thanks for. I mean, yeah. Sometimes it can happen, but it's a difference. It might be like, okay, you don't understand why the person is trying to help when you didn't ask for help or whatever. But if someone does you good, the natural response is to, you know, be like, okay, you know what, like, thank you, and stuff like that. But if you react negatively to that person at a certain point, it might be because that person did something that provoked this reaction from you. And it is valid. It's valid to react. To illustrate, to give you a good example, let's say that a friend of yours helped you helped you open your business, either with their contacts, the people that they know. I don't know if they say contacts in English. Well, yeah, like, let's say, yeah. So let's say that person helped you in some way. Does it mean that does being grateful mean that you have to accept that person disrespecting you later on, or coming to your business and making a mess, or coming to your business and always wanting discounts and credit and stuff like that? No, it just doesn't make sense. Or even if that person is still helping, okay, the person gives you food, do you have to accept them violating your boundaries, or harming your children? I don't think that's okay. I understand the situation why people would stay or accept this, because they depend on that help. So they stay despite of themselves. They accept this because they may not have other options. This is another thing, right? But when you do have options, you would take the other, you should take the other option, the way out. So, no. The third point is, let's get to the third point, which is one of the most important ones. I mean, it's only 3 points, but you get what I mean. Like, this one is really, I really like it. And it's the fact that usually when people use that phrase, they use it in situations where the help is not actually help, but responsibility, or an agreement. It's a responsibility. For example, you would have people tell you, oh, you shouldn't speak up to your parents because they're the one that feeds you, so you better watch it. I'm like, no, they're not helping me. They're doing their job. They're fulfilling their responsibilities. So to me, it's like the help oftentimes it's not a help. People perceive it as help, but it's not help. It's actually a responsibility, something that you must do, something that you signed up to do. Okay? So I shouldn't be grateful to, I mean, I'm grateful still. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy to be alive. But I shouldn't be like grateful. I mean, I'm grateful because you took you paid for my food. You gave me food. You fed me. That's what you're supposed to do. I couldn't feed myself. You know what I mean? So here, your parents doing what they're supposed to do is not help. Now, after 18 years old, or after you're independent and they bring in that help, this is help. When you cannot meet, when you cannot satisfy your needs on your own, and then you have people reaching out and helping, and they give you a hand, yes. But from your parents when you were a toddler, yeah, no. It's not because you give me food that you can verbally attack me or mistreat me, you know what I mean? Anyways, so another example is work, where people say like, don't talk shit, don't say bad things about the institution that you work in. Or, I mean, I understand that point, because what are you even doing there? But let's say, for example, that you say something at work. It's like, for example, they tell you don't say certain things to your boss, don't disagree and stuff like that. It can be wise to not interfere sometimes, because of reasons that I'm not going to mention in this video. But sometimes it can be very wise to not do certain things at work. But in general, I think you can disagree. You can say things clearly and say, this is wrong, or this is not wrong. I mean, this is wrong, or I don't agree with this. I don't adhere to that. What you guys are doing are wrong. And these kind of things can be said even if it's work. And I'm going to explain why. As I mentioned earlier, this third point means that the help that you're supposedly receiving is not actually help, but responsibility. So when it comes to work, what you receive, which is, I assume people talk about, I assume that what people are referring to is salary. So the salary, the compensation, the money that you receive is not actually help, because your labor is the currency. The transaction is complete. Your labor is the currency. The transaction is complete. It is not help. It is a transaction. meaning that I don't receive my salary for free. It is not a favor. I'm paying with it with my sweat. I'm paying with it with my abilities, with my labor, my time. It is not help. So technically, if that hand that feeds me misbehaves, I'm in my right to be against it. I'm in my right to speak up. The same thing happens in relationships. In relationships with parents, there is no transaction because it's their responsibility until you become an adult. For work, there is a transaction, but this transaction is complete. So whatever is done outside of that complete transaction should be questioned, should be tackled, etc. And for relationships, there shouldn't be any transaction. So with your partner, you should be able to speak your mind. You should be able to say what you don't like, okay, without it having a repercussion. I mean, it will have a repercussion, but not necessarily something that's bad. So you need to bite. You bite the hand. It's like the same with a dog. The dog doesn't like to be touched, for example. You give the dog, you feed the dog, you give the dog some food, you still don't have the right to touch it because they don't like to be touched. So you helping someone doesn't give you the right to do things, to do things that this person doesn't like or doesn't want. So it's like, for example, okay, you're giving me money, but you still don't have the right to tell me what clothes I should wear or what clothes I should buy with that. I don't like to be touched. I don't like people to touch my face. Don't touch my face, even if you give me $1 million. It still doesn't, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. And even if I do owe you for feeding me, let's say, for example, I owe you money or favors, I don't know. What we agree is what we agree. You cannot cash up mistreatment, for example. So even if I do owe you for feeding me, there are certain things that you do that I can still speak up against. Like, if I owe you, there are other ways for you to assert yourself, to make me give whatever it is that you gave me back. I can give it back. You make me give it back in some way or another. If it's money, I can give you your money back. If it was clothes, I can give you your clothes back. If it was house, you can make me leave the house. Although that would mean that you didn't actually give me anything. But let's say it was a help, right? It was help. Yes, you have the right to recess, like take back the action in some way. But you're still not allowed to do things to me that I don't want done to me. You can't beat me up. You can't spread lies about me. Like, it's the same principle. Anyways, that was it. I was hoping that this video would be shorter, but I really wanted to talk about that subject. I hope I will post this video soon. But let me know what you think. Will you bite? Or you not? We should bite. Okay? Okay.